Oh, welcome to the Four Horsemen of Fantasy. I am Nick. My ears were blown out. Sorry about that. Oh, God.
That was so loud.
Oh, my God. I can't even think right now. I'm Nick. This is Jack. This is Gil. You know the deal. Carlos is being Carlos somewhere
Being
else.
an adult.
Whatever he wants to do.
Working.
With a K.
With a K. Carlos with a K.
Working with a K.
He's doing his thing somewhere. Whatever it is. We got a good show ahead for you guys. Football's coming up. Draft is coming up next week. So we got some interesting conversations going on. We're talking about what is happening with the 49ers, followed up with a little game. And these two are butting heads, so this is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see it at the end.
Butting heads?
No, we're not. We won't.
Never. You guys are always on the same page.
It's like Shaq and Kobe, where it was just a ploy for marketing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not actual beef.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No, you guys are literally Kobe. But which one's Shaq? Which one's Kobe?
I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
I was about to make a morbid joke then. I'm not going to. Let's get into this.
Yeah, let's do it, guys. Let's do it. We are looking at guys coming out of the draft, coming from college, going to specific teams, and we're going to look at it from fantasy perspective. Who do you guys think is going to come out, and it doesn't matter what team, whatever team they go to, who do you think is going to be dynamite?
So for me, I think the biggest impact fantasy-wise for a wide receiver will be at Alabama, specifically Jameson Williams and our guy, John Mechie.
John Mechie, baby.
John Mechie. Side note, we've been following him, I think, all season now, from this, just because we've been tracking him, I think, since the fall, right?
Yeah.
So obviously the similarity between the two is that they both are coming off big injuries from the college football playoff, or like just the later end of the season. But I think Williams, who's already ahead of schedule on injury, is actually going to be quite impactful for wherever he gets drafted. Whether he goes top 10, if he gets put in good circumstances, obviously there's no good circumstance if you're drafted by the Giants. However, if you get drafted by New York and they need a wide receiver one, which they do because none of their wide receivers can stay healthy, then I think it's perfect for him. But I think for Williams specifically, I think he'll be a fantastic impact for wherever he goes. As for Mechie, I think he provides late round value. Again, because he's coming off a big injury.
Yeah, injury concerns is definitely it's going to put him down the draft stock there.
I would like to see him maybe as a wide receiver 2-3 on a good team, especially if he gets drafted late. I honestly could see, I've been saying this, I would love to see the Jets draft Mechie late.
Who's the Jets' number one receiver right now?
It's Elijah Moore. And then you have Corey Davis.
Corey Davis, yeah.
Corey Davis will come on and off the field and not be healthy. Whereas for Mechie, who's young, and obviously, coming off an ACL injury, I feel like the value of it is not as impactful compared to what it was like maybe 10, 20 years ago. But for Mechie to come into a better position, I think Zach Wilson, with time to evolve as a quarterback and maybe a better offensive line, given the experience he's already had, as well as Coach Robert Saleh, I think he'd thrive on the Jets.
I think the perfect spot for Mechie would be on the Titans.
Think so?
I think if he goes late enough, he gets with the Titans, he's there with A.J. Brown, he's there with Derrick Henry. I know Ryan Tannehill's not the most optimal quarterback out there, but I think with A.J. Brown getting most of the coverage, I don't think there's anyone else really on Tennessee that really takes
Bobby Trees?
I just don't think they take him at the end of the first. At the 26th spot, I can't see the Titans doing that personally.
If they come back in the second round.
And we also have to bear in mind that John
trying to go
Mechie is going to be ahead of schedule compared to where Jameson Williams is.
Really?
Because Mechie got injured before Williams did, right? So.
But as far as we know, Williams is going to be ready for training camp.
Okay, I think Mechie's in a similar spot. Though,
I would think so too. I think between the injuries, they weren't too far apart. Maybe like a week or two.
Yeah.
I think because I know Williams got hurt. I think either in the final game or the week before.
Yeah.
Well,
and
Mechie
was before that. And just context, our class that we're in together, we had to literally cut a project and do a paper cut on John Mechie, so that's why we kind of very much invested in him.
We love his life.
We do like
We're
that.
very invested.
We were very invested in his background. For those who haven't known, John Mechie was born and raised in Canada, but he lived his first 2 years in Ghana.
And he got his speed by getting chased by dogs.
Yep. He's terrified of dogs.
And he's grown up with his Taiwanese mother in, I believe, Toronto.
Yeah. Brampton. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with the theme here because we talked about him a little bit last week or 2 weeks ago now as well. But as it's getting closer, the more, it's a week today now. If we record this time next week, it's going to be really exciting because obviously the draft is going to be next Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
We should do a live show with the draft. Just
Oh,
FYI.
my God. That'd be enticing.
That would be fun. So what I will say is that the Garrett Wilson is just my number one, wide receiver off the board. The Falcons have the 8 pick, and I just would love to see them. They've done, Calvin Ridley was great. He was a first-round pick. It's they've done great with their prospecting for wide receivers in recent years, and they really need a wide receiver. Really do. They're not a team that is going to challenge this year at all. They're not going to be a great team this year, but they need a wide receiver that is going to come in and just produce and be. Marcus Mariota is number one, which I hate saying, but Marcus Mariota is number one. Not number one because obviously Kyle Pitts is the number one receiving option, but a number one wide receiver that.
And you got Cordell Patterson, who's your running back wide receiver.
I feel like Cordell Patterson's value came from being with Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll replicate, but I would like to see him continue.
Yeah, we'll see. And I think the biggest thing is that teams will scheme so much for Kyle Pitts if the number one is Olamide Zacchaeus, who's the number one option there at the moment. So I love Garrett Wilson. So this guy obviously is. He is projected by a lot of people to be the first receiver off the board. He's at Ohio State. He's 5'11", 6 foot maybe. The only thing is he's a little undersized. He weighed in the combine at 183, but he ran a 4.37 60-meter dash. Last year he had 70 catches, over 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. That's what I love. It's just he is one of those guys that can turn on a dime. He's got that kind of physique and that. I'm trying to think of a player comparison. It's quite hard to really find one of a guy that kind of like a Jefferson kind of thing. I think that's the way I'd maybe view him. And I just think he's great. Another landing spot which I could see as well is the Washington Commanders at the 11 spot because there is a lot of speculation that Terry McLaurin gets traded. The Chiefs are obviously in for a receiver, so are the Packers, and there has been that speculation this whole time. What I will say, just going back quickly, Gil, to your point about Jameson Williams, is the Chiefs have 2 picks at 29 and 30. With the guy's injury history, if he drops, if a couple of people are maybe he's a bit further behind, because let's be real, the NFL scouts, they know more than we do about where these players are at and stuff. If he was to fall to 29, 30 and the Chiefs have those 2 back-to-back picks there, that could be one of the steals of the draft.
I think the craziest part is Kansas City will probably draft a wide receiver, but I don't know if, because Philadelphia's, I think, got 2 in the teens.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
I would not be
the 15
surprised
and 18.
if the Eagles take 2 wide receivers on the spot.
I would be.
The number one guy is Devontae Smith.
But they got nobody else. Who's their 2s and 3s?
No, they do.
I would rather. You got to give I think you need to give Jalen Hurts the talent around him.
Yeah, but
Jalen Reagor ain't the answer, bro.
Reagor is not the answer, and he'll go down as the guy. He will
Yeah.
always be known as the pick taken ahead of Justin Jefferson.
Yes, he will be.
They need help on that offensive line badly.
Yeah.
They do. I
There's
just
places
think
they need to improve.
I just think that's an answer that could be sold overnight.
One for sure. I could see them taking
Yeah.
1 for sure, but 2 I think would be.
That's tough.
That would be crazy. And one of the guys that I think would really suit Philly is Drake London. So I don't know whether Nick, you want to get into.
That's a good segue right there. I
wanna
see what you did right
into-
there.
Get into your guy.
So I guess this is the wide receivers out of the draft. It's conversation over here. So I had Drake London as my guy, but I also had him going to the Atlanta Falcons at 8.
Oof.
That was my opinion on it. 6'4",
like Kyle Pitts though.
6'4", 219 pounds. I feel like he's got it. He's looked so good in college, MSC. He was just a beast coming out of there. And like you said, the Falcons need targets. That was my whole mentality with it. Kyle Pitts is the only guy there. No one else. Marcus Mariota, what is he going to do besides run it himself and have Cordell Patterson try something in the backfield? You need some help in the offense, and offense sells tickets. And that's what the Falcons need. They need an offense. Everyone went to the Saints games when the Saints had no defense back in 2014, 2015. I want the Falcons to have at least an offense, explosive offense, so people want to go to that team. They have nothing going on that team right now. You need some pizzazz going over there. And I think if you have a great young talent with Drake London, I think he can do it.
My only issue, as I said, is the comparison with
Kyle Pitts.
him and Kyle Pitts have a similar build, and I just feel like they kind of like they would almost have a similar skill set. And obviously, Kyle Pitts is a specimen in himself.
So you want a speedier guy next to Kyle Pitts?
Personally, I would.
As a Falcons fan.
Yeah, as a Falcons fan, but like as a team, like you have to trust these organizations. Sometimes they don't make the right. I mean, look at JJ Arcega-Whiteside. Like Philly took him ahead of DK Metcalf, whatever. So there's obviously been times where teams have messed up, but. Maybe honestly, I want to see them draft a wide receiver. I don't really mind. There's so many good options. Chris Olave. There's some really good guys.
Would you be happy if Kyle Pitts, Dylan, and then Deebo Samuel on the same team?
Yeah. Debo. Yeah.
Debo.
That's not gonna happen.
I'm like concerned with whatever happens with
cap.
Samuel.
They have no space for Debo, unfortunately.
That's also another good conversation, guys.
Before we get onto that, Mr. Romeu, I want to ask you guys this, because this is a great question that I didn't get to ask the last time we discussed the draft. Which team do you think is going to sorely fumble the bag?
Giants, like always.
In the draft?
In the draft.
I'm just saying that because I'm a homer, but like, yeah, I figure it's the Giants.
I also
even with the first 2 picks and the top 10, I feel like this is
I
a
feel
fumble.
like the
Absolute homer.
Yeah.
The Raiders have done a bad job recently as well.
Raiders have not drafted well.
Yeah,
I think
that's another team, but they've changed a little bit in.
But they didn't go to free agency, getting Devontae Adams.
They have.
My issue with the Raiders lies as this: they got the trades, but they can't really succeed elsewhere. Like their last really good draft pick, was Derek Carr. What happened since?
I really like
Henry Ruggs.
I like that guy that they took. That
Khalil Mack.
That's true. They did draft. You know what? I'll give them credit because they did draft Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper in the next couple of years following Carr.
And then they ended up doing well in other teams.
And Mack was an All-Pro.
Yeah, he was good. He was good
Oakland.
with them,
yeah.
But I feel like they found
down
their stride in other teams.
It always boils down to one thing, and they just didn't want to play Khalil Mack. And as same thing for Amari Cooper, which is why he got traded to the Cowboys. On top of the fact that they absolutely stunk following a year that they were top seeded and heading into the playoffs, and Carr got hurt. So maybe the Raiders, them hiring Josh McDaniels as their coach just gives me no promise that they know how to draft. Not that they need to, because they're already a pretty good team. However, I'm so skeptical on Josh McDaniels.
I think their offense is going to be fine with Josh McDaniels.
I firmly disagree. If you've been watching the Patriots last year, you could see how stagnant that offense was. Sure, you got a quarterback difference, that's completely different between Mac Jones and Derek Carr. However, he just looked like he had enough. He had zero ambition, no creativity. It just seemed very by the book.
Well, Mac Jones had who as their wide receivers?
Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby Myers was a decent receiver, other than the fact that he couldn't score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Kendrick Bourne actually looked pretty solid here.
Towards the end of the year, yeah.
And then Damian Harris turned out to be one of the best running backs in the league, and finished the season as the highest graded running back.
So I'm saying with him as offense, him at the helm, I think they could be pretty decent, especially with that team around him: Devontae Adams, Renfro, Waller.
He's also going to be given
Jacobs.
a lot more leeway. Like in a Bill Belichick run offense, like as much as he might have a say, Bill's going to be in his ear all the time. Like if they're messing up calls. And another thing I want to say, because I just skipped over it earlier, I really can also see the Chiefs moving up. They have a lot of draft picks this draft. They have the tied for the most draft picks, I think, with, I can't remember, I think it was maybe the Jets or the Dolphins. I can't remember who it was exactly.
They're one of the few, I think they're the best team on
draft.
paper to have multiple first-round draft picks.
And that was because of the Tyreek Hill trade.
And they have 2, obviously, 29 and 30, but I could see them maybe moving up with a Philly or something. If they see, all right, so-and-so is still on the board, we need to move in for our guy right now. I'll give you our back end of the first round pick plus a 3rd or 4th or something, and I can see them making those moves because at the end of the day they have to. The Chiefs are. That division, we talked about it loads in this podcast, is really difficult. And if they want to stand any chance, they need to go and take the guys that they want. And I think that's key with these teams. If you have a guy you love, take him. Yeah, even if it's a bit of a reach. Sometimes you have to make moves that are bold, but they work out.
It didn't help they got rid of Tyreek Hill, but they got the draft stock from it. So
exactly.
But yeah,
they have Juju. So
yeah, they got Juju. Yeah, he's the answer. Let's move on. Let's look at another team, the 49ers. Guys, what's happening?
Deebo Samuel of the San Francisco 49ers.
No,
Maybe not for long.
Not for long.
Maybe not for long.
Potentially this time next week we could be talking about a complete. I could see him going before the draft. I don't know about you guys.
I just kind of want to play that one more time just because it sounds really funny.
Debo Samuel of the San Francisco 49ers.
It's such a brain fart. I don't know. I forgot that I even did that. Debo, like, as soon as this came out yesterday, we were texting in our group chat, and I kind of listed out a couple of teams, and like a couple of you guys were like, yeah, and then a couple of the teams were like, no, like it couldn't be that. And like obviously, like we've talked about them on here, the Chiefs, like it sounds like a broken record now, but like teams that like are in positions where they have their QB, they have like for the foreseeable future, and they have a team that could potentially win now. Those are the teams I think should go in for someone like Debo.
Here's the problem.
The Chiefs and the Packers.
But here's the problem with that, and I would say more towards the Packers than the Chiefs is
He's chasing the bag.
exactly that. He's going not just for a better role, but he's going for the money.
Yeah.
yeah, but
And
they
he
offered
wants
the money to
he wants
Devontae.
Tyreek. Who, the Packers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, the difference was Devontae Adams wanted to play with Derek Carr. The Packers could do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Packers were going to pay him.
I'll tell you who won't do it. The Patriots won't do it.
Yeah, that's one of the ones
Patriots
that
don't
got
do
shut
it.
down.
The Cowboys won't do it.
And Deebo Samuel would be a fantastic fit in New England, but Kraft is so flippin' cheap that I don't think he'll do it.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones won't do it.
Wide receiver prices are high now. Like
And the market is broke. Yeah, the market's broken.
Especially for him, who's a running back, wide receiver, like.
And
guy like
his
him.
role will differ
Yeah.
moving into another team. But Jerry Jones won't do it. The only reason he paid Dak Prescott was because he broke his leg and he saw what life would be like without him.
Yeah,
If he didn't, if Dak was still healthy heading into the 2021 offseason, he'd be playing on a second franchise tag.
I think what I'll say with the question was what's going on with the 49ers. I think a lot of people don't give enough credit to Kyle Shanahan because Debo has come into that role, but I could see him going to another team and like there's not many coaches out there that can like execute that role really well. I mean, I guess like I'm maybe crediting Arthur Smith here as well, the way he used Cordarrelle Patterson this year, but like Debo, he fit in that role great. He did an awesome job of it, but like if he was to go to the Pats, like would Bill Belichick want him using that role? I don't think so.
I mean,
I don't know.
Didn't they make Jacoby Myers do something similar? I feel I'm not sure, but
He ran a couple of like those routes where he
there were
lined up in the
design
backfield
plays.
or whatever.
Obviously, the volume would be different. I think with Samuel, and if you look in Miami now, for example, because now you got a player that is dynamic as Debo and Tyreek Hill, and you have Mike McDaniel, who probably will do something similar, if not verbatim, to Shanahan in San Francisco. The thing with Debo also leaving, it's not just necessarily about the money, but it's about his role, because I think he realizes the wear and tear of becoming a wide receiver running back one for a football team. His role will differ. It won't be the same. I think he wants to become a true wide receiver. But if that's the case, what makes him different from any other wide receiver? We weren't talking about him until he started running into the end zone.
Yeah,
he's a talented wide receiver. He was a talented wide receiver at that.
And he was hurt all season the season before that. So that's why he came out of nowhere with this.
And the thing also on top of that was, if you look for like maybe the first few weeks of the season prior, you realized he was also like top 5 in receiving yards. I think he was leading for like maybe 3 of those weeks. And he's talented. As Jack and I like to say, his yak. His yak was phenomenal.
Best in the league.
I think so, yeah.
Yards after catch, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
We're not. I would imagine people listening to this podcast, they know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So I just
He's
think
special.
I think he's a special talent.
Very.
But
Very
Brandon
special.
Ayuk's also there. This is the thing.
Yeah.
He's also a really young, big talent.
But do you
as
think
well.
Ayuk would become Debo if
He
he's
did it
gone?
the year before. Like his rookie year, he was performing at a really
But
high
will
level.
he do exactly what Samuel did?
Oh, no.
Ayuk was doing so bad at the beginning of the season that
Oh,
people
my
were
God.
dropping him.
Yeah.
I know.
That's how bad he
Yeah.
was.
He's
And then
fine.
he
He
finally
was
found his
droppable.
stride towards the end.
For those few weeks, he was droppable.
Oh,
yeah, he
yeah.
was. Absolutely.
100%. Yeah, for the first 8 weeks of the season, he was not a player that you wanted on your roster. But no, going back to that, no, I don't think Brandon Ayuk can be used in that role. There's only certain players that really can be used in that role. You need to have the perfect physique for it, and Debo does. So does Cordarrelle. They're kind of like just over 6 foot, but like big bodied like receivers, and I think that's why it works so well. Let's move on to like Jimmy G, because
Jimmy G. That's a whole nother conversation right there, because there's speculation that Trey Lance is going to be the starter in there in San Fran. Where does Jimmy go now? Does Jimmy stay? Does he stay as the backup? You could trade him.
I want to get in my little soapbox here for a second because I'm going to give the Niners as an organization as much trash as I can give. You've made it so abundantly clear that Trey Lance is going to be the starter in the most indirect ways, like mediums possible. Every source saying, people within the organization telling Trey Lance to give him the impression that he'll be a starter, so on and so forth. But Jimmy Garoppolo is still on your team. And my issue with that is, you could say Garoppolo is not good. You could say he was the reason you guys lost in the NFC Championship game. However, it doesn't change the fact that he was a starting quarterback for a team that went to an NFC Championship game 2 years before to a Super Bowl. I feel like that's not proper
Respect.
Elegance, I guess, or professionalism by the Niners to literally just throw a quarterback to the side and such. Obviously, the window of opportunity in the NFL is short, but at the end of the day, you gotta before you address that a second-year quarterback who's only started for maybe 2.5 games last year, to say he's going to be the starter while the current or previous starter is still there without the opportunity to just at least trade him.
You're shooting yourself in the foot with that.
You are. This is the same thing. I won't even say it's similar to the Baker-Deshaun situation, but in a sense, it almost is just because you've had him and you you looked at, you bought in on him.
Yeah.
And then you just immediately throw him to the wayside. And that's my problem.
Yeah, I think that the thing is with Jimmy G is that he's been a competent quarterback. People forget he took them to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. It's not like he has been terrible, but I think that was more a situation where San Francisco's defense was amazing, their run game was amazing. There was a lot of other factors that went into that, and Jimmy G just needed to be efficient, and he was. He had a really efficient season.
He was serviceable.
Yeah, and he did exactly what he needed to do. Hot take, I think if Trey Lance starts next season, he's a top 5 fantasy QB. That's going to be my hot take. And obviously that's not, but
depending if Deebo Samuel's there.
I think it's dependent on Deebo Samuel staying.
He is the kind of player that it will, if I'd said that about Patrick Mahomes the season he started, what would we have said? No, what? Patrick Mahomes. I don't think he's going to do the same thing with his arm, but he's like that Cam Newton build, almost like that. He's going to score rushing touchdowns. We saw him do it last season. Even in games he didn't play, he played 3 snaps, and he was just on the goal line. He can be used in that way, and he has a rocket of an arm. That's the difference. And if he can get that accurate, and if he can build a rapport with Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle, I think he really could absolutely take off next year because
How tall is he?
He's 6'2", 6'3", isn't he?
Yeah, he's tall.
Interesting. I see him with that height. I could see him more like Jalen Hurts.
I'll have to look it up. But the other thing is I banged on the drum. Kyle Shanahan. He has a way of making people fit in his offense if he likes them. And if they're saying at this point of the season, it's not like they're telling us in preseason that Trey Lance is going to start, or it's not like they're being we're not sure yet. They're telling us months in advance, this is our guy, and that speaks volumes to me, because they've been so wishy-washy with it last season. Oh, we don't know if he's going to start. Maybe he'll start in week 6, after the bye or whatever. A lot of people thought they had an early bye. A lot of people thought he'd start after. Now, when it comes to then Jimmy G, I'm thinking about what landing spots. I mean, Pittsburgh, I don't know, Washington.
I think the quarterback,
I think the one thing that needs to happen before Jimmy G gets traded is Baker getting traded, because I think that domino needs to fall first. Baker is... He's 6'4"? Wow.
And those two are on the same spot. Teams that are obviously not their starting quarterback, who were their starting quarterback last year.
I think the difference for that, though, is Baker's younger, and Jimmy obviously has the winning on his side. However, if you're trading for Baker Mayfield, you're getting him for his youth.
But I think, yeah, exactly. I think Jimmy G gives you more of a shot to do anything, but Baker Mayfield, what has he really done? Nothing.
He's made the playoffs. They've made the playoffs.
But it's not from him. It's from his defense and his running game.
Yeah. I think, but the year that they made the playoffs, it's the same reason I would say for Jimmy Garoppolo when the Niners made the Super Bowl. They were good enough.
Yeah. That running game against the sorry, Joe, but against the Green Bay Packers with 3 touchdowns with Mostert brought him to the Super Bowl that year.
Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you this: if Deebo Samuel gets traded and Trey Lance is the starter, the biggest beneficiary, not Brandon Ayuk, it's George Kittle.
Yeah.
George Kittle, in my opinion, if he becomes if the circumstances fall in his favor, he finishes the season as the fantasy tight end 1, in my opinion, ahead of Mark Andrews, ahead of Travis Kelce, ahead of Darren Waller, ahead of Mike Gesicki, ahead of T.J. Hawkinson, ahead of Kyle Pitts, ahead of Dawson Knox. Must I go on?
It's about time Travis Kelce gets knocked off that.
Well, he got knocked off last year.
He's going to be great, but now then you see it. It's like
Defenses can hone in on
no Tyreek Hill there.
Defenses can hone in on Kelce.
Yeah, but the difference is that Kelce is like elite in terms like his.
Oh no,
speed
he's
and everything, like,
absolutely
crazy.
He's by far one of the most physically imposing tight ends I've ever seen.
And they have a really good connection, Mahomes and Kelce.
Of course.
Let's not talk about tight ends here. Carlos is going to go mental.
Well, no, let's talk about it because he's not here.
No, let's go to break before he blows a casket over here. But we'll be right back with a nice little quick game. Don't go anywhere, guys. Ah, yeah.
I should have lowered the volume before I had the chance.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm feeling good, guys. Got a little stretch in. I'm feeling pretty nice here. Oh, my back just cracked. All right. We are good to go. Nice little quick game.
Winkler and bees.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God.
So, wait, what is that?
I just said, "Oh my God." I'm like, nah.
I thought that was the sound effect. All right.
Oh no, that was me just being very upset. Not playing.
So obviously, with everyone, the free agent market done, no one's really going anywhere. Well, let's play a little game. Where are they now? I like Naeem Hines. Just
Oh God, I wouldn't know where Naeem Hines is right now.
No, he's still in the Colts.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you guys a good list of people. I wasn't sure how quick this game was gonna be, so I have either 5 guys or 15 guys up in this thing. So, obviously 15 because then we'll have an obvious winner. I would assume.
Okay.
Let's go with James Washington first.
Who?
James Washington.
Wait.
He's the old Pittsburgh.
Oh, I know where he is. I know where he is.
Where is he, guys?
Should we write stuff down? Like,
No, I know where he is.
I mean, I'm gonna write notes next to it. To make
I
sure-
can
You tell the score.
I have a guess.
Well, say the guess.
You know, this is what I mean. He knows where.
I'm gonna tell you. Well, you gotta say it first.
Jets.
He's on the Cowboys.
He is in the Cowboys.
Suck it, Gil.
See, this is the knowledge that us fantasy players need to know because they're gonna hurt the players that we're looking
I've been
for.
writing this stuff down for literally the entire free agency
So
monitoring.
Gil's gonna get every answer here.
Probably not.
Tyrod Taylor.
Oh, easy.
Chargers.
Giants.
Giants.
He was on
it
the
is.
Chargers though. You realize he lost his job to.
I know, but I thought he was still there.
No, he was a starter.
I guess these people aren't on the teams I'm expecting. them
This is
to.
my headcanon because for every starting job that Tyrod Taylor has had, he's lost it. He lost his job to Baker Mayfield in Cleveland. He lost his job to Justin Herbert in LA. He lost his job to Davis Mills in Houston.
Josh Allen, wasn't he in Buffalo for like that?
I don't think he was the quarterback before Josh Allen. Though.
Okay, I thought he was there for a bit though, maybe.
And now he's the quarterback on the Giants. I don't think he'll be the starter, obviously.
Oh, I don't think
But
so.
he will be the reason why Dale Jones might play really well this year. So if he does, just know I
It's
just
Tyrod
warned
Taylor's help there.
Suck it,
you.
Gil.
I had to put it one more time.
2 Gil, 0 Jack.
I'm running with it right now.
Ray McLeod.
Oh, no, I don't have this one.
I would have been majorly impressed if he
I
did.
do not have this one.
Some of these guys are like, all right, yeah, I heard the news about that. Other guys, you're like, what the hell?
Where the hell is Ray McLeod? Oh.
Eagles.
I was going to say the Commanders.
49ers.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Can't wait to see him break out this year.
I was close enough.
with Trey Lance.
No.
All right, no one's got that. Rashard Higgins.
Ooh, I know this.
And these are guys that actually did move. There's no,
obviously.
yeah, there's no like.
Rashad
Is
Higgins-
it,
stay
you know,
on the
like
same
the
team.
TNT
Yeah.
game, who he played for?
Yeah.
He was on the Browns last year, right?
Yes, he was.
Rashard Higgins was on the Browns last year.
Buffalo Bills.
Give me the Jaguars.
He is on the Panthers.
Ooh.
Little sneaky play by the Panthers to grab Rashard Higgins.
I was severely misled after the first two because I feel like I'm not.
I was
know.
impressed. I don't always like when Schefter tweets that. It's like scroll. Like I
Oh,
don't.
no,
I
me
just
and
don't
my-
really.
I'll know the first week before my draft where everyone is.
I have a small Discord with like one of my fantasy leagues, like the main one I was involved with, and literally my close friends and I have just been putting off-season move after off-season move after off-season move of just whatever's been happening.
Clearly not enough.
Not enough, because I don't know where Ray McLeod and Rashad Higgins went.
Well, do you know where Austin Hooper is?
Yes. Yes? No. It's a team that just lost a tight end, and it's, oh yeah, I know where he is.
I'm gonna let Jack grab everything just in case you do know.
Pats.
You said where?
Pats.
He's on the Cincinnati Bengals.
Titans.
What? Oh my God! I thought he was on the Bengals.
Yeah. Yeah.
So weird, man. He was so good with the Falcons. That like.
Yeah, that 1 year.
Oh, I thought he was on the Bengals because I don't know. Oh
CJ
my God.
Uzama went to the Jets.
Zama's on the Jets now. Yeah.
Alright.
I don't think I had him on the list. No, I didn't have him on the list.
That would be funny.
Jameson Crowder.
Oh, I know this one. I just talked about it last night.
I'll give you a hint. He's still in the division.
Okay. No, Bills, Dolphins. I'm terrible with divisions, guys.
You
I'm
all
gonna
the
go with the
teams right.
Bills. The Bills.
Bills.
It's the Bills.
Bills is correct. Bills is correct. All right. We'll
I
give
had
it
to throw him the
that.
alley-oop there.
I'm so bad with the Bills. Like with the divisions. Like,
According to Master Jack's
Hello,
rules,
and
match
not.
ball.
Matt Breida.
I'm gonna go with the Indianapolis Colts.
He's on the Jets?
He was on the Jets.
No.
On the Giants.
Oh!
He is a New York Giant. I can't wait for him to get hurt week 1.
Oh,
Actually, training camp. Sorry.
I am the smartest man alive.
Zach Pascal.
Oh, I'm going to say it's the Eagles.
Did you know that?
No.
too?
Oh, yeah, it is the Eagles.
Yeah, it is the Eagles. Yeah.
So
All right.
I'm honest at least.
A guy I'm very intrigued is Marlon Mack.
Houston.
Wait, he left?
He left the Colts, yeah.
I think he went to the Texans.
Oh, okay. Oh, Titans.
It is the Texans.
Ooh.
It is the Texans.
I'm running with it, Chief.
Yeah, this
I
is,
know none of these, to be fair.
I should have just done stats in there, like how many yards did they have
Yeah.
last season?
No, it might have been better. than that.
maybe it would have been better. DJ Chark.
I know this one.
Frick, he
I
went
actually
to.
think I know this
I
one.
think he went to.
Where is he?
You go first because I haven't.
I think it's Detroit.
Yeah, I think it's Detroit.
You have that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Detroit.
Let's go.
I completely doubted it, and you know the only reason I know that, I don't know if my friend's listening, is because John, like one of my good friends who actually does sometimes listen, he's a big Detroit guy because he's from Canada and it's like the closest team.
I think that's pretty good for DJ Chark. I think that's a good spot for
Him
him.
and
Jared
my
Goff.
my favorite nickname, Among Us St. Brown.
Yeah, among us, St. Brown. Byron Pringle.
He went to the Bears.
I don't care.
He went to Chicago.
Yeah, they go to the Bears.
No. Bears, maybe. Bears, is it?
Yeah, it was the Bears.
Yeah, knew it.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
Yeah, count it.
Yeah, we got him.
Don't.
We got him.
I don't want any
foul.
sympathy votes. Yeah.
What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7-2.
7-1. Oh no, I had.
No, you got
I had
two,
You had
two.
two. You had two. You had the Lions and you had Crowder. We gave you Crowder though. Zay Jones.
Oh shoot, where'd he go? Because I forgot he left Vegas.
He did leave Vegas.
Chiefs.
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
What?
Yes, he did.
I am the smartest man alive.
You can't. You've overplayed that now because you played that when we got it wrong.
That was the joke.
We both got
no,
it wrong.
but now I'm talking my shit. You know.
Three more of this massacre. Cedric Wilson.
Miami.
I think he could be great.
Miami.
It is Miami.
If it's right, then I'm not even
Yeah.
guessing.
Oh my God.
Equanimus. St. Brown.
Equanimous St. Brown.
Equanimus. That's his name.
Equanimous.
I
Seattle
like
Seahawks.
99 just where?
Seattle Seahawks.
Can you say it right?
Equanimous.
Equanimous.
Equanimous. EQ St. Brown. Where you go?
Equinemius St. Brown.
Where is EQ?
I wish I knew. I didn't know he left the Packers to begin with.
That's why they have no receivers over there.
Randall Cobb.
Yeah, besides
Alan
Cobb.
Lazard.
Name a player. Name a team.
Name a player.
Name a team.
Name a team. Give me.
Just name a team, man.
I'm thinking,
You
man.
won the game.
You're up 8 points.
Just
and
say
you
random
don't
team.
know the answer.
And I'm not satisfied with 9
You
points,
don't-
damn it. I want more.
You don't know the answer, so I don't know why you.
Give me the Indianapolis Colts.
It is the Chicago Bears.
Really? I'm surprised he stayed in the division.
Yes, he is. He's going to face Aaron Rodgers twice a year. And then finally, Ronald Jones.
I want to say we went to the.
Sorry, guys.
No, I know. Screw it. I'll just say the Vikings.
It was the Kansas City Chiefs.
I
You went to the Chiefs?
He went to the
I actually
Chiefs.
did know that. That's annoying. Actually,
Damn.
now you said that, I did know that.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be a great spot for him
Yeah, it
if
could
he
be.
can stay healthy.
That could be.
But on that massacre, I don't even have to tally it up. I think Gil's got like, what, 11 here? Yeah. Jack, that was very pitiful. Next time,
Yeah.
bring your game next time, all right?
Yeah. It's okay. You knew none of those.
I didn't know. I knew none of them. I just looked them up myself. So.
It gives me hope.
From Gil, Jack, myself, and Carlos up in the abyss wherever he's enjoying himself.
Can you imagine being an adult and having
Thank
a
you,
job
guys.
and working and
Follow us
doing
on
things like
Instagram.
that?
Number 4, Horsemen of Fantasy.
Number 4.
For number 4, Horsemen of Fantasy, please.
Even though we're 3 today. But that's all right.
All right, give us a follow, like and subscribe, and show us some love.
This is a long outro.
This is a long outro.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
No, let's play it out. Let's play it out. Bye.